Hello and welcome. It's me, Marls44. Welcome back to another Cardfight Vanguard Cardfight area deck profile. Today's deck profile, we have the professor that has a really big belly. Famous professor, Bigbelly. So, with the release of GB Booster Set 2, Great Nature got a bunch of support. And there was one card that I have in here that is from Fighters Collection 2015. So it'll be post Fighters Collection. But yeah, with the release of that booster set though, this deck has quite a bit of support and is quite powerful. Doing its normal stuff, you know, powering up units and drawing a couple cards off of it. But now it's more like really powering up those units and really drawing a lot of cards off of it. There are a lot of cards in the deck that are like, oh yeah, give it 4,000, draw a card, and retire it. So you normally get the standard card back, and then you get more because of other cards. So definitely a formidable deck. Anywho, let's jump right into it. So our starter is Pencil Koala. So if you don't know what he does, a Generation Break 1. When an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle that this unit boosted, choose another of your rear guards, and you may have that unit get power plus 4,000 until end of turn. If you do at the end of the turn, draw a card and retire that unit. So, pretty much like this. This was just what I was talking about. Really good starter though, just to help. Definitely better than Blackboard Ohm because you know, you get to power it up with this card when it boosts and hits, and it'll stay forever. And then at the end, you draw a card and kill the unit. So. It's just really solid and very strong starter. Yeah, as I said, a lot of cards will have stuff like that, like draw a card, retire it. There are quite a few like that. Anyways, moving on. So we have, whoa, where'd he go? For Famous Professor Bigbelly. So what he does is Generation Break 2. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose one of your rear guards until end of the turn. It gets power plus 4,000. At the end of the turn, draw a card and retire the unit. It's not a bad ability. It's pretty standard like the rest. I thought it would be a little better than that, but it's okay. It's I mainly use it for its stride ability. So Counterblast 1. During your turn, when you G-Unit Stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 2 of your rear guards, and until end of the turn, they get power plus 4,000 and auto rear guard. When a unit's attack hits in the same column as this unit hits a Vanguard, if the attacking unit power is 2,000 or more, draw a card. So basically, what it's saying is, whether or not you give it to the back row or the front row, if a unit in the same column as it hits the Vanguard and their power is 2,000 or more, you draw a card. So the Generation Break 2 skill isn't bad, but the stride skill is really what it's about. That's because it just gives it 4,000 and you don't have to retire it. You don't get to draw a card, but if it hits, you get to draw a card. So it's definitely much more worth it, and it puts on tons of pressure. So it's yeah, stride ability. Very good. I mean, it's not a stride unit, but you know what I mean. When you stride, I call it a stride ability, because that's what it is, right? Anyways, we also have 4 hot-blooded Professor Guru Tiger. So this is a Legion, grade 3, and what his Legion mate is Capable Assistant Guru Wolf. What it does is choose a card with the same name as the unit on your Vanguard from your hand and discard it if this unit is in Legion to 2 of your rear guards. And until end of turn, they get auto during your end phase. When this unit is put into your drop zone from rear guard, call this card to an open rear guard, draw a card, choose a card from your hand for damage zone. Choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. Not hand, sorry. Didn't mean to say that. And its other skill is, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose one of your rear guards, and you may have that unit get power plus 4,000 until end of turn. If you do, at the end of the turn, retire that unit. So, basically, it's Legion Persona Blast skill works with its normal skill of give it 4,000 at the end, retire the unit. Because when both of the units are retired, you know, you call them back, draw cards, and or well, one of the units retired, you call it back, draw a card, and then flip a damage, and you'll probably give power to the other one, so you can do it twice. But really solid grade 3. This is pretty much the grade 3. You could play Break Ride with it, but then the deck does change quite a bit. If you play the Break Ride version, like you could play what's his face, Bigbelly along with Chat Noir right here. So 4/4, and use the Break Ride to do some crazy stuff on the turn with Bigbelly and striding. But other than that, the standard way to play it is with Guru Wolf, and he's a really strong card as well. Like he's awesome. But yeah, just a really solid grade 3 lineup, really scary, both threatening the extra draws with power and it just easily losing nothing off of it because of that. So both Vanguards are good at doing that, and that's what they do pretty much. Okay, so let's move on to our grade 2. So we have 4 Crayon Tiger. What it does is Generation Break 1. Counterblast 1, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard. If this unit is boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other rear guards. Stand it. It gets power plus 4,000 until end of turn. At the end of the turn, draw a card and retire that unit. And even if you don't use it, you can't use it for the rest of the turn. So you can't spam the ability if you have 2 Crayon Tigers, which, yeah, of course they're going to make sure you don't do that because that wouldn't be fair. That would not be fair. No. Yeah, just a really strong card for giving an extra attack off with more power. If you used Bigbelly's skill, and if you used Bigbelly's skill, sorry, I'm blanking out. I just had it, and you use this card's effect, and you also got a trigger and slapped it on that card, which normally you would because, well, normally when you stride, you always pull the trigger. That's what I've found. It's very rare that you don't. So you slap it all on there, and he gets to swing for like 22. So you can threaten for that 20k or more power hit of drawing a card twice. So you might get to draw a card twice that turn, and it just really it's a good card to combo with that, and also at the same time it's just a really strong card. And I mean, it combos I think with one of the other cards too. I don't know, but it's just a really strong card. There are some stride units that it can work well in that regard with as well, just to restand and power them up, and you could just swing for some really crazy columns. This is definitely a deck. This is a deck you want to wait till grade 3 to go off. You kind of just play a little more patient when you're before grade 3. But then once you hit grade 3 and start striding and stuff, that's when you're really on your, okay, let's do this. Let's make these plays. So it's a little bit slower than the Leopold one. But yeah, anyways, we have 4 capable assistant Guru Wolf. So the grade 3, he's the Legion mate. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if this unit's power is 2,000 or more, draw a card. So assume you put the skill of Bigbelly onto him, and then it gets powered up by a trigger, and it gets to threaten twice. So both times it threatens, there's a draw card from Bigbelly's skill, and there's a draw card from him. So you could possibly draw 4 cards with this kind of pressure, and on top of the fact you could restand. So this card is just really incredible to bring on so much pressure of drawing and just it's ridiculous. Yeah, just really good card, and you'd want to run 4 of them as well for the grade 3 since it's a persona skill. Makes him a lot more consistent if you have his Legion. Normally you don't, but if you do, yeah, if you do, normally you'll have a card for it. Anyways, and finally for our grade 2 lineup is 3 Sleepy Tapir. I was thinking of running 4 of these actually. I was debating on Crayon Tiger in this, but because it's not an early game deck, you don't really want too many of these, and you want more of the Crayon Tiger because that's when, you know, as I said, you really kick it into gear and start making plays, which is why this card is at 3, because you don't need too much early game pressure, and it's a helpful card. What it does, though, I should say it, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose one of your other rear guards, and you may have that unit get power plus 4,000 until end of turn. If you do at the end of turn, retire that unit. And also, it has resist, which means it's ineffective by your opponent's card's effects. So it can't be locked, it can't be retired by your opponent's card's effects, which is good. But yeah, basically, you run this card because it's, for one, it's really good, and it's kind of a backup if you don't have Crayon Tiger, basically, and it's really important card for that matter, and just to help power up some of your units if you want to as well. But you don't need overly many of them, which is why you run 3. Still a very important card though, for just adding that extra power like you always do. Anyways, onto our grade 1s. 4 Contradictory Instructor Shellmaster, so it's just for your Bigbelly. Oh no, this is not the card, sorry. For your 4 Unflipping Perfect Guard. And then we have 4 Single-Minded Assistant Minibelly. This is the card that searches for Bigbelly, and he's your stride enabler as well. And then we have 3 Duckbill. So, you know, 3 of your Duckbills help you just get some extra cards off of cards getting retired. And then we have 3 Silver... Oh, that's not it. We have 3 Silver Wolf, your 8k beaters. So, you know, you could... when a card gets powered up with 4,000, you can hit those 21k columns, which is always really important. You know, A plus 13, because you have all 9ks, right? So Silver Wolf, definitely very important. I was actually thinking of running 4 of these, but I found that to be a little much. I'd have to take out a Duckbill as well, so which isn't bad. I could play 4 Silver Wolf and 2 Duckbill, but I definitely found it a little smoother like this. Up to you guys though if you want to run it like that. Anyways, on to our triggers, because that's our grade 1 lineup already done. We have 4 Triangle Cobra, 4 Ruler Chameleon, and 4 Cutter Falcon, so 12 crit, and then we have 4 Broadcast Rabbit for heal. 12 crit for heal. I know some people really like to run draw because they don't want to lose cards and everything, but for how much you have chances to draw and have setups to draw and everything, you don't minus yourself at all. You only plus yourself or go even at best. I mean, at least. And a lot of the time, I never even find myself going even unless it's later on in the game when I can never get a hit. But normally, by then, I've drawn quite a few cards. So, I don't know. The 12 crit's really, really good because it also helps with your, you know, later rush that you want as well. And I just feel it's a lot better, especially with how much you're drawing and how much capability you have to draw. If you want to play 8 crit for draw 4 heal, go ahead. But I think this is a bit of a better lineup for the deck. Anyways, let's move on to our stride units. So we have 4 Omniscience Dragon Managarmr, something like that. Amazing stride card. What it does is counterblast 1 and choose a face down card named Omniscience Dragon Managarmr from your G zone and turn it face up. If the number of face up cards in your G zone is 2 or more, choose up to 2 of your rear guards until end of turn. They get power plus 4,000 and auto rear guard. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if this unit power is 2,000 or more until end of that battle, your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater cards from their hand to Guardian Circle. So they can only guard with grade 0s on your, you know, the rear guards that you have added 4,000 to, and then on top of the fact that you probably have Bigbelly's stride skill on that, so if they hit, you draw cards. So a lot of the time you get free draws thanks to this guy, and especially if one of them's Guru Wolf, that's 2 free draws. Well, 4 most, if you have 2 columns of them. Actually, no, you could have 5 at most if you have Crayon Tiger in 1 row and Guru Wolf in another row. You know, restand Guru Roof, get him to hit twice. You get 4 cards, and then on top of the fact, Crayon Tiger gets 1, and maybe a card gets retired, and you draw a bunch of cards after that. I don't know. Like a Pencil Koala skill, there's just so much, and you draw so much off of losing 1 card. You just get so much off of almost nothing. But yeah, just a really, really strong stride card. Normally, they will not survive. If they survive the first, you know, stride of this, they won't survive the next one normally. Just a really good card. And then we have 2 Eternity Professor Phoeniciax. What he does is when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you choose up to 2 of your rear guards. Those units get power plus 4,000 until end of turn, and at the end of the turn you retire them if you give them power. So, really strong card. I don't play 3 because it's not a great first stride. This is more of the card you want to stride with if like after Omniscience Wolf, if they're somehow still alive or something. Or you could use Blizza. Like, there's different options. This card isn't bad early on, but it does depend on your condition, and a lot of the time I find myself not riding this card. This card is really, really strong, though, and there are times you want to ride it. A very powerful card, but, you know, you lose 2 units, and that's why it's a little risky. I was thinking of bumping it down to 1 and bumping another card up to 2, but 2 of this is perfectly fine because you only need 1 of another card. So at least 2 of this makes it okay. I could possibly use this late game, but early game, we'll see depending on conditions of how many setups you have to draw cards. Then we have 1 Ominous Dragon, Wisdom Teller Dragon. What it does is when your attack hits a Vanguard, choose 1 of your rear guards, and until the end of the turn, it gets power plus 4,000, and auto rear guard when this unit attack hits a Vanguard. If this unit's power is 2,000 or greater, draw a card. So this was the card I was talking about, thinking about playing 2 of. This is basically my first stride. Like, this is the first card I stride with, always, for this deck, pretty much. Unless I can do the Phoenix, because I have a bunch of cards that can get me draws, like, more than I like. But this card's really good, just because of the fact that I know the other guy doesn't have to hit, but this card brings on a lot of pressure with hitting, getting an extra card off of giving 4,000, and of course you don't want to lose too many cards early on, and that's also why I kind of play it too. So I only need 1 because of that reason, but it's still a really good card, and it's debatable whether or not to play 2 of this or 2 of the Phoenix, so that I could leave that option up to you. And then we play 1 Blizza. Easy peasy. That's about it for this deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Deck list will be in the description below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to see more videos from me, on the left there are Let's Play videos, so you can go and check those out. And if you guys aren't up for that, on the right there are Cardfight Vanguard videos, so you can go and check that out. And if you're still not up for those, I have Super Smash Bros, Pokemon, and a Versus series on my channel, so you can go to my channel and check that out. Also, down below is my review channel, where I do reviews, countdowns, game chats, which is like a podcast, and more. And don't forget to check out my Twitter, Facebook, and Skype, all listed at the top there. That is all. Hope you guys enjoy.